Hi, I'm Ian. I was the technical designer, map designer, and project lead for the Jetpack Blueprint System. Thank you for purchasing, or considering purchasing, our marketplace item for Unreal Engine 4. The Jetpack Blueprint System is a semi-modular jetpack mechanic integrated in the default Unreal first-person and third-person characters, intended to be easily integrated into your own projects. This video will cover the functionalities of the Jetpack system and the many variables it has open for tuning. If you have additional questions or would like to report a bug, please contact us at teammetazord@gmail.com. The pack was made entirely in Blueprint, utilizing the default first-person and third-person characters as templates, and has no reliance on non-standard C++ code. The vast majority of the Blueprint functionalities are confined to the character classes, with a very small amount of additional work in a pickup blueprint, the action mapping settings for the project, and to enums. In the character classes themselves, there is code in the event graph and construction script, as well as 5 functions of modest size. All code is commented for ease of dissection, and all variables have descriptions. For the sake of consistency, this video will cover these features as they are at their default settings. First, like the default third and first person character classes, use WASD to move and space to jump. Move over and equip the jetpack by picking it up on the map, or by merely starting the player with the jetpack equip variable set to true. Once equipped, the player can now fly with the jetpack. By default, the player can initiate flight by attempting to jump while in midair. The jetpack utilizes a variable-based fuel system contained in the player class. Flying consumes fuel. Standing on the ground slowly regenerates it. When the player runs out, they may no longer fly. The system does, however, feature 2 alternate modes. The first of which being the activation of the jetpack through the use of an independent action input, with E being the default. The second is a more separate system, a double jump mechanic activated via jumping in the air again. At your disposal are a number of variables that can be tuned to drastically change the overall effect of the jetpack system. Variables are paired into 3 categories, core being the variables that are utilized for all manners of the jetpack, flying, the standard flying through jumping or separate input button, and double jump for the additional mechanical system of the same name. Included in the blueprint are a number of example presets, which can provide you with several samples of variable changes with results ranging from simple tuning showcases to entirely different jetpack operations. Caution is advised when selecting one of these, however, as they cannot easily be modified, and after selection will override any variable settings you've previously made. In the core values, after the variables for examples, equipping the jetpack onto the player, and defining the input method, is jump delay, which defines how long after a jump input the player can first activate the jetpack. In addition are values for the player's level of air control while flying, and an optional variable for the level of gravity they have while falling after using the jetpack. In the jetpack's flying values, we have several more. Flight thrust is exactly what it says on the tin, the amount of thrust the player has while engaging their jetpack. Max fuel, starting fuel, and current fuel are 3 interconnected values that dictate the appropriate levels of fuel when starting and playing. Neither starting nor current fuel may ever exceed max fuel. If current fuel reaches 0, then the jetpack's function is cut until fuel can be recharged. Fuel consumption amount and fuel consumption rate play off of one another in a calculation of fuel consumption while flying. The standard formula would be that the fuel consumption amount is taken away from the player's current fuel levels at the rate of fuel consumption rate. These two can be tuned in tandem for a wide variety of fuel consumption related results. After fuel consumption comes the 3 variables related to fuel recharging, a boolean for whether the player should refuel on the ground at all, and then a pair of variables that mirror consumption rate and consumption amount, fuel recharge rate and fuel recharge amount. By default, this rate is slower than the consumption rate, to put a greater value on the act of flying. But all of these can be tuned for the character, or manipulated in the blueprint to your own liking. The double jump system being far simpler in nature, features less variables. First and foremost is the number of jumps. While I term the system double jump, it would be just as accurate to call it a multi-jump system. By changing the value, you can give the player the ability to perform triple jumps, quad jumps, or even 2 billion jumps. The next value is double jump strength, which, true to its name, is the measurement of the force that is applied to the player while they are making their double jumps. This force effectively negates gravity, so it's not necessary to compensate for terminal velocity or anything of the sort. The last two variables are more abstract to understand, but go hand in hand. Double jump end delay and air control go into effect at the supposed end of the double jump. Air control reset will set the player's air control in their fall back to the default character value after the end of the period of jump end delay. If this is activated, it means that in practice, the player has air control while jumping in the air, but loses it when they begin to fall. With that, this video is concluded. Thank you again for your interest in our product, and we hope you have a great day.